12 hours, 23 minutes, 9 seconds. That is the total runtime of all the studio albums ever released by Eminem, not counting deluxe editions, refills, and collaborations. Suffice it to say, the rap god has blessed us with so many songs over his storied career, which saw him rise from underground upstart to one of the greatest to ever bless the mic. If you had to pick 5 songs, just 5 songs, to sum up Eminem, what you got? Let's get right to it. This is Fave in 5. What up everyone, it's your boy The Saga, reppin' the hiphopinsider.com. In this debut episode of Fave in 5, I'll explain the concept behind this new series and I'll dive right into my 5 selections from the discography of my personal favorite of all time, Eminem. Let's begin by discussing what Fave in 5 is. I know what you're thinking. Oh, this is another one of those top 5 lists, isn't it? He's just going to give us his unsolicited opinion about the 5 best songs of that artist, which I've seen 100 times on YouTube. Now, let me be very clear. While I could take my pick of an MC's most technically sound songs or biggest commercial hits, that's not really what this series is about. Think about this for a second. What's one thing that captivates us hip-hop fans and keeps us hooked to our favorite artists? That's right, storytelling. Think of Fave in 5 as a series of snapshots that tell the story of an MC's growth, how their style evolved, how their career blew up, and yes, how their personal episodes spilled over to their music. Get it? Good. Now let's begin. For over a quarter of a century, the music of Marshall Mathers III has inhabited the airwaves, and by all indications, he'll rap till his fossil fuel. I sure hope he does, because ever since the late 90s, no one has been sicker with the rhymes and wittier with the wordplay than the one and only Eminem. If I had to summarize the career or modern day Shakespeare, I'd have to go with these 5 songs. First up, from all the way back in 1996, Infinite. Talk about humble beginnings. Before the multi-million-dollar deals and the top-tier production value and the tutelage of a Dr. Dre, here was a 24-year-old nobody from Detroit making the most of a modest opportunity to become a recording artist. The one word that I'd use to describe Infinite is raw. The production sounds unpolished, the MC's voice is far from refined, and the concept behind the song, if they even intended one in the first place, is kinda crude, generic even. But get this, I'd also use the word raw to describe Eminem's natural brilliance, which was evident even back in 1996. If his effortless execution with the internal and multisyllabic rhymes was any indication, this dude was gonna be around for a long time. Infinite then is a great place to start if you're telling the story of Eminem, the humble roots of an artist with raw talent, unlimited potential, and the rest of his career in front of him. Next up, the grand entrance of an alter ego. From 1999's The Slim Shady LP, My Name Is.
My name is what? Excuse me. My name is
If Eminem didn't have a clear-cut identity on the song Infinite, he sure had one now. On the pivotal track My Name Is, Eminem shocked the world with the dark humor and grotesque anecdotes of his Slim Shady persona. Look, I know it's hard to get past the 9-inch nails in each one of his eyelids, but if you listen to this track closely, what you'll hear is the indestructible confidence of an artist who finally found his voice. I think it's appropriate that the man who helped Eminem dig deep to find this persona, legendary producer Dr. Dre, makes his voice heard on this quintessential Eminem track. And if there was any doubt that M was on his way to greatness, My Name Is won Best Rap Solo Performance at the 2000 Grammy Awards. Whether his critics liked it or not, Eminem had arrived. Wait, scratch that. Shady had arrived. Next up, an untouchable masterpiece to this day, the critically acclaimed Stan.
Sincerely yours, Stan. P.S. We should be together too.
Look, I'm going to try to stay composed here, people, because every time I listen to this song, every damn time, I get flooded with all types of emotions. How can I possibly do justice to this 6-minute magnum opus that's a triumph of both music and poetry That menacing bass line, that ominous beat, that gorgeous hook from Dido. More than enough to snatch your heart, people. But the thematic cohesion and the dramatic irony and the fully fleshed out characters, Lord have mercy. To me, ladies and gentlemen, Stan is the pinnacle of Eminem's creativity as an artist. And ever since it came out, I can count on one hand, maybe even one finger, the number of artists that have come remotely close to the peak of artistry that Eminem reached on Stan. It's that good. Phew! Man, I almost lost it there. Speaking of which, up next on my list, Lose Yourself.
In the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not.
There's a reason why Eminem chose to perform this particular song at the Super Bowl halftime show. If Stan is the intellectual joyride that your favorite rapper's favorite rapper gushes over, Lose Yourself is that pop culture phenomenon that fans of all ages and all walks of life have attempted to memorize at one point in their lives. Lose Yourself punctuates Eminem's dominance of the global audience. As a matter of fact, he didn't just dominate the hip-hop realm by creating an anthem that celebrates everybody's struggle to take advantage of opportunities in their everyday life. By creating such an emblematic song that spoke to every human being on earth, Eminem sat on top of the entire music industry itself. In other words, he did not miss his chance to blow. And finally, to bookend this 5-song summary of Eminem's career, we have Rap God. After proving himself to be a lyricist extraordinaire, after smashing box office records left and right and permeating the mainstream consciousness for the better part of 2 decades, what was left for Eminem to do? Why, proclaim his divinity, of course. By declaring himself the rap god, Eminem is basically saying, game over, it's done. Rappers from the past, present, and future might preoccupy themselves with claims of hip-hop royalty, but as the last line of the song goes, why be a king when you can be a god? And yes, I'm fully aware that Eminem went on to release a number of albums after dropping this 2013 track. But to me, those 3 projects, Revival, Kamikaze, and Music to be Murdered By, might as well be called Eminem's playtime. What he's doing at this point is experimenting with new flows and finding fun ways to connect to the children and grandchildren of his OG audience. No matter what anyone says about the latter part of his catalog, no one can deny the godly or ungodly legacy of the legendary Eminem. There you have it. I'm not gonna lie, it is super tough to leave out some iconic songs on the cutting room floor. You have Forgot About Dre, Guilty Conscience, Renegade, Till I Collapse, the list goes on. So how sure am I of the 5 tracks I chose? Let me put it this way. My mom isn't particularly a huge fan of rap, you know? She does know a few MCs here and there, but I can hardly call her a lover of the genre. If I had one shot, one opportunity to make her a true Eminem fan in one moment, I'll happily ask her to listen to 5 emblematic songs from his exalted discography. And when all is said and done, when the rap god has had his final word, I'll tell her, Mom, that was my Faven 5. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get the latest from the Faven 5 series. Hit me up in the comments. Which of my picks did you like? Which of them did you absolutely hate? And which rapper's story do you want me to tell next? For the hiphopinsider.com, this is your boy, The Saga. Peace and love.